Adriana, would you please come forward and lead us in the pledge? Lincoln Middle School sixth grader.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right. Special recognitions and presentations. The first order of business is 2025 Harrison County All-State Music Conference Representatives. Mr. Deems, Nell Gibbons, please come forward. I guess you have some names for us.
Oh.
Is Nell
Yeah,
there?
Nell doesn't have.
Oh, she doesn't. Okay.
She's the choir director, right?
Yeah, we have some certificates for everyone.
Yes.
I am Nell's successor. She's done this in the past because she was the Harrison County Music Contact, and now I am the Harrison County Music Contact. Lucky me, I get to do my favorite thing and read a bunch of names off of a paper. I apologize in advance if I mess this up. First, I just want to thank you all for allowing us to have this opportunity to honor these great musicians. The all-state organizations, there are a lot of them that will be through. Students were either nominated by their directors or they went through an audition process and were selected amongst students from all over the state. It's a tremendous honor and we're very proud of them. We're going to start with the West Virginia All-State Children's Chorus. Can I get the choir directors to come up to the front for the All-State Children's Choir? Thank you. We have Justin C. From Simpson Elementary, Emma Beagle. She here? Yep. Yeah, we're gonna take pictures, lots of pictures. Abigail Shahan. From Johnson Elementary, Violet Humphreys. Sophia Corber. Again, I apologize. Lucas Kelly. Adelie Kirk. From Lost Creek Elementary School, Haven Hartley. Taylor France. From Nutter Fort Intermediate, Lily Facemeyer. Ella Grace Zickafoos. From South Harrison Middle School, children's choir goes from 4th to 6th grades. South Harrison Middle School, Jocelyn Van Horn. And Leuna Wilfong. From West Milford Elementary, Cosette Steer. And from Lincoln Middle School, Autumn Sharp. And Adriana Godfrey. That's all of our all-state children's choir representatives.
Sorry.
ACAPA.
Hi guys, flip all of the.
Sure, thumbs are right side up. We're not covering your face. Thank you.
Is my hair okay?
Sorry,
guys.
Down your thing just a little so they can see your face.
3, 2, 1. All right, anybody else can take it.
Just look at the center.
Ending in 5, 4. We good?
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Another round. Next, we have representatives that attended the West Virginia ACDA All-State Choir, and this is for 7th through 9th grades. Choir directors come up? Shaylin, is Jeremiah here? Dr. Smallridge? Oh, there he is. So we met Shaylin, and we have Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge from Bridgeport High School. And our representatives from Lincoln Middle School, Addie Hill. Lorelei Miker. Kaylee Faber. And Isabella Allen. And from Bridgeport High School, Aubriana Howe. And Harmony Ruderman. Okay, thank you. That's ACDA All-State Choir, 7th and 9th grades. Good. Dr. Smallridge, we're going to do the ACDA All-State Chamber Choir, high school. And Madison Linder from Lincoln High School. Yeah. We had, and this is obviously 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. From Bridgeport High School, Catherine Kamenga. Jonah Kaminga. John Hotz. Sarah Yergo. And from Lincoln High School, Gianna Fragman. And Xavier Gaston. Our next group is going to be our middle. Next up is our middle school all-state band. So if we can have our band directors come to the front. Should I give you a good introduction, Mike? No. From Mountaineer Middle School, we have Michael Kale.
They wouldn't believe it.
It's true. From Lincoln Middle, John Kimball. Bridgeport Middle School, Chris Haslett. And from WI, Doug Schaefer. From WI, Christina Wyatt. From Mountaineer Middle School, Raven Dean. Also from Mountaineer Middle School, Isla Childress. And from Mountaineer Middle School, Tanner Conch. And Tanner was actually first chair tuba in the All-State Band. From Lincoln Middle School, we have our other first chair from Harrison County, Lily Lane. Lily was first chair baritone, or euphonium. Mr. Kimball,
Yes,
remind me of this name again.
probably Kylan.
Kylan Lehman. Very dramatic. Also from Lincoln Middle, Alexandria Creamer. Also from Lincoln Middle School, Madison Keener. Also from Lincoln Middle School, Bradley Wilson. And from Bridgeport Middle School, Lucy Mitchell. And Zoe Whitescarver. And that does it for our All-State Band. All right, thank you guys. Next, we're going to go to Middle School All-State Orchestra. Ms. Tricia Price from Bridgeport Middle School is going to come up. First student from Bridgeport Middle School, Tristan Eastep. And also from Bridgeport Middle School, Matthew Murray. And those are our representatives for the Middle School All-State Orchestra. Thank you. Next, high school all-state band. Band directors, come on up. From Liberty High School, Dr. Travis Nestor. From, yeah, you can clap. From RCB, Thomas Myers. And from Bridgeport High School, Garrett Friend. Mr. Friend is the fan favorite tonight. So, from Liberty High School, Wesley Cutright. From RCB, Ryan Schreiber. From Bridgeport High School, Grayson Chandler. Matthew Lunsford. And also from Bridgeport High School, Sophia Moles.
As you go. Pretend like you just. I'm gonna hide this one. All right, again, our high school all-state band representative. Next, we're going to do our high school all-state choir. Directors, come on up. From Liberty High School, Lacey Farabee. From Bridgeport High School, Evelyn Kaminga. Jonah Kaminga, Bridgeport High School. Huh? Oh, they were in the ACDA. Two different conventions.
Okay.
Yep. Caitlin Kimball. Also from Bridgeport High School, Caitlin Murray. Also from Bridgeport, Liliana Smart. Also from Bridgeport, Sarah Yergo. From Lincoln High School, Rosalia Keener. From Lincoln High School, Heidi Thomas. And from Lincoln High School, Xavier Gaston. And that is Harrison County, our Harrison County representatives for all-state choir.
Okay. We got the picture.
Travis, stay here. High school all-state orchestra is next. Yep, you're in this one too. I assume you want to claim Ryan.
He's all right.
Yeah. From Bridgeport High School, Leah Pugh. From Bridgeport High School, Ania Rafiq. The next two gentlemen that you're going to see, you actually already met them. They were members of the All-State Band. They're both French horn players. And so what
happened at All-State this year. They took the top horns from the All-State band, and they also played with the All-State Orchestra. So these guys played double duty, had extra rehearsals. So a really long weekend became even longer for them as they played 2 concerts, double rehearsals, all that stuff. From Liberty High School, Wesley Cutright. And from Robert C. Byrd High School, Ryan Schreiber. And that is our representatives to the high school all-state orchestra.
I think we're good.
The last group that we're going to recognize, they've actually already been up here as members of All-State, but this is recognition for Governor School for the Arts. In 10th grade, sophomores who are interested in pursuing more study of the arts can apply for Governor School for the Arts. It's a great program. It's 3 weeks on different campuses across West Virginia, college campuses. And it's a very intensive program where they get to study whatever discipline they want at a really high level for 3 weeks. And it's a really great experience. And all 3 of these students are from Lincoln High School. So if I could get the music teachers from Lincoln High School to come up to be recognized with their students. Fred Channel and Madison, remind me.
Linger.
Linger, thank you. From the 2022-2023 school year, Xavier Gaston. From the 2023-2024 school year, Gianna Fragman. And from the 2023-2024 school year, Rosalia Keener. These are our representatives to the Governor's School for the Arts. Okay, again, before I go, thank you for allowing us to come and recognize all of these fantastic musicians and their teachers. We all love what we do. It's a labor of love to teach these students and see them have passion and be recognized for all of their hard work. We had a wonderful all-county band concert. I just wanted to publicly thank Superintendent Stutler and Dr. Santilli for coming. They both just rave reviews for our students, and we really appreciate that. And we really appreciate the citizens of Harrison County supporting the excess levy that really makes our programs what they are, and the Board of Education for providing your support. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone, the students, the family, the faculty, the staff. Everybody does a great job. At this point, I usually let everyone stay to help watch the regular business, but if you are interested in staying, you're more than welcome to, but if you would like to leave, we will allow you to leave further. And the administrators, thank you to the administrators as well.
Absolutely.
One of the best funerals I ever went to. Almost everybody was in jeans. And the mother was mad at the ex-girlfriend, so they played Who's Gonna Have Your Boots On?
Oh, well, there you go.
In the funeral. Right before the service.
Here, I got money.
All right, thank you all for being patient. Next special recognition and presentation is Mr. David Decker, contingency fund request.
I think we got those too. We got multiple.
Well, good evening. I'm gonna take the opportunity to thank you for the support of the levy and the voters of Harrison County as well. What it does for this room full of students is amazing and educators. So thank you for all the behind the scenes work as administrators and board members. And thank you to all the voters in Harrison County for continuing that legacy for our arts and our schools. And I'm gonna plug our choir. You can come down and see our new sign that was funded through the levy at Lincoln High School and catch our choir tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So if you're out in the Shinston area, we have a new sign, thanks to the voters, and see our choir as well. My real reason for being here is to get a project across the finish line that Mr. Lopez started several years ago. We have some portions of our fence that needs to be completed on the baseball field, and we have been able to save $7,200. Lincoln High School requests that the board has the contingency funds available to match that, and that will take care of our outfields, our left field, and our right field. So we had 3 quotes. We found the lowest bid would be a good company to work with, and we just request $7,200 to finish our outfield.
Sounds good, thank you. And you are an item on the new business later on this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Next, I would like to switch D and C. I'd like to bring up John Paul Nardelli from Healthy Harrison.
Hey everyone, it's good to see you again. I'll try to be brief. I just really excited to share some great news. As all of you know, we kicked off a program in the middle schools this cycle, and I was a bit nervous because we really had not piloted a program with them. But what was really great about this cycle was that while we have found ways to incentivize the students, we really haven't found ways to incentivize the schools. And so both Dora and Pam were really open to the idea of providing some funding for schools that hit specific targets. And as a quick reminder, Healthy Harrison's obviously focused on measurably improving the health and well-being of the community, and we do that incrementally. I met with one of the world's foremost experts. His name is Dr. BJ Fogg, and he teaches the model of incremental change through tiny habits. In addition to that, I also met with Dr. David Anderson, who founded Hero Health and Stay Well. And essentially, he gave us 3 key metrics to focus on, which is enrollment, engagement, and then high levels of engagement. And I couldn't be prouder of our middle schools because not only did all of them hit at least one of those metrics, but we had 3 schools hit all 3 metrics, and then 2 of the schools hit 2 of the metrics. And this is a very challenging thing to do, as many of you know. Asking any school to take on another project is very tough. And given the fact that we started this in January and got hit with incremental weather, we had to push the program back multiple times. I'm just so grateful for the principals for taking the lead in this program to make sure that we were able to accomplish it. Not only that, but we do have an opportunity to get in there and record some of the students, talk about their personal experience and put it on our podcast. And it's just great to see the kids shine in their success and then also make such a big impact. And I can speak on behalf of United Hospital Center in saying that it's a great investment for them. WU Medicine United Hospital Center continues to fund Healthy Harrison specifically for this reason. In addition, West Virginia University and Health Science Center, they also commend the efforts done by this community. And I will say that there continues to be an expectation that this county will lead the charge so that other counties adopt this methodology. So what we're able to do is continue to hit wins. We'll continue to do this program. But without any further ado, I want to bring the principals up as part of the check presentation. And shout out to Frank, he's a new board member, so thank you for being on the Healthy Harrison board. The two schools that hit 2 out of the 3 metrics were Bridgeport and WI. That's Gary Oldacre, Emily Urish from Bridgeport, Susan Farrell and Ruth McLean from WI. And then the 3 schools that hit all 3 were Mountaineer Middle School with John Rogers, Lincoln with Mr. Donato and Mrs. Scott, and South Harrison with Mrs. Skidmore. So everybody come up, we'll take a picture, and thank you guys for all you did. And we got kids too, all right, great. Thanks, David Oliver. You do get big checks. Thanks, David, that's great.
They were very excited about the big checks.
They were more excited about the big checks than the little ones, so there you go.
I have my little check, that's the one that counts.
That's great.
You've always can hold the check.
All right.
Alrighty.
That was the idea.
Look here, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you guys, really great job.
Okay, next we have James Van Scoy, Family Fun Extravaganza with a presentation.
I have pamphlets for everyone. I'm Silas Van Scoy, James' partner. Going to talk about the Family Fun Extravaganza. This is our 3rd annual year for the Family Fun Extravaganza. It's a festival we put on every year. We have carnival, we have inflatables, we also have live shows. The live shows that we usually bring in from Florida or different places that are not in West Virginia, so it costs money to get them here to West Virginia. And the shows, we also have educational shows for kids. One show that we have is Grandpa Cratchit. He rides around in a truck. He acts as a puppet. He rides around in the truck. He teaches kids the golden rules or golden values. Say no to drugs. Be kind. Do unto others as you want done to you. He just teaches them good things. We also have other entertainment, but those are some of the educational shows that we have. And also, the shows are also free. They're free to the public to get in. They're free to kids to get in. Always. Every year they're free. This year we're just having difficulties getting more sponsors for the live shows to bring them in from these places, have them for the festival. And we're just asking for some help in doing that and sponsoring maybe one show for the kids so we can continue to have the shows there. I think it's just the climate and this right now, economic climate, people are just worried and, just don't know what's going on. So, businesses, a lot of automobile businesses used to sponsor us. Now we only have one or two that usually does it, and they're not doing it for the amount they usually do, because that's the reason they gave us. The vendor fees and everything else also helps to fund and helps to provide the programs for Community Elevation, which is a nonprofit that was founded by me in Pennsylvania as Chain Break Corporation, with after-school programs, inner-city youth outreach to different government housing locations. We just focused on basically the overall development for youth. So vendor fees actually help out, and attendance actually helps out to fund the next phases of Community Elevation, which is job readiness, job observation, life skills programs, and also STEM camps, and to continue our luggage drives, which is we just partner with foster agencies and different agencies and businesses to do that. Our cartoon headquarters we're the ones that actually put on the festival. You know, it means a lot to us. We are the directors of the festival. And it means a lot to us because it's educational for kids. It's fun, which we love fun. We love giving back to the community. And we just want to continue this and help it grow and still have it for the kids, for the community, and let it be a free, fun event for them and also educational. And we are actually, Cartoon Headquarters is also willing to sponsor or to provide admissions to the fun zone, 100 admissions for kids to the fun zone in return for a sponsorship or anything like that that would help out for the festival.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Typically, what we'll do is we'll ask the superintendent to make a recommendation to determine whether or not we can put it on another future agenda.
Okay.
She'll discuss that with you and talk with you about it.
Do you have your brochure?
Yes. So it's the flyer and there's packet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have consolidation and merger update. Mrs. Knight?
I have asked Dr. Booker, Mr. Terry, Mr. Rogers, and Mrs. Farrell to kind of present what has been done thus far with each one of their schools, and if there were any consolidation, they will have a good picture from their side as to how they.
Thank you.
We're passing around just a brief highlight of some things that we've taken it upon ourselves to do this year, including strategic plan meetings, faculty meetings, student activities that both schools have done together. So we've done a lot of things this year that have included both schools. We've, done social events with the kids through trunk or treat. We had a Valentine's dance. And then the faculty has met several times. We're actually meeting again on Thursday of this week in the afternoon after our faculty senate meeting. And the administration from Liberty High School and administration from Robert C. Byrd have been at each other's buildings throughout the entire year. We made that one of our goals to make sure that we were at each other's buildings. So Mrs. Light and Mr. Post have been to Liberty on different occasions. Mr. Harrod and Mr. Haynes have been over at RCB on different occasions. So we're spending time with each other. And with that, we have spent time with Mrs. Knight, making sure that we had our master schedule created. We've walked the halls and assigned classrooms, which we were going to share with the staff on Thursday afternoon. And, we're making a lot of progress. It's a lot of work. So, but I feel like we're working towards that goal that you've set for us.
Yeah, probably some of the things you probably get are just some of the questions. I mean, I'm sure that's what happens most times, but, you know, in reality, we've done pretty good. We've done pretty well. When you're really doing 3 jobs, you're running your own school, when you're trying to prepare for next year and you're preparing for a merger, it does take a great deal of time, you know, and energy from everybody. I told the staff today, I said, one of the things you have to understand is that not everything's going to be given to you right away. We don't want to go in with anything just kind of being, well, here you go, so you'll have it, and it'll make you feel better, and it's not right. I probably spent more time on the phone with Dr. Looker in the last 6 months than I probably care to share with anybody. But you have to be able to operate as a one unit. And you know, at this point, I don't really look at us as 2 schools. I mean, yes, we're going to finish graduation, we're going to finish our, you know, our move, we're going to celebrate the rest of our time we have at Liberty. But in reality, we're already there. I mean, we have, you know, there's a schedule, there's a classroom set up, there's financials we discussed. There are things that are very important to running a school that if you don't understand that you haven't ran a school, you really can't see it. And I know that sometimes you're going to have staff members, and I got it, I understand. I want every answer too right then 15 minutes ago. But if you go extremely fast, you're not going to be right. And I think that, and I'm going to say this, I probably shouldn't say it this way, but you know, we're in the middle of a merger. I think you couldn't have a better individual lead a school that really will take the time and does all of these things correctly. And then you have me that just kind of works and goes to town and does what he, you know, I'm that guy, just take care of it. That's what I do well. You have 2 people really complement each other in that role, but you also have 3 other administrators that have great skill sets. And I think that the children of the school see this. They kind of know what we're going to give. I've had several kids talk about, I'm worried. Well, you shouldn't be worried. We're there for you. And I think that those are things that are very important. Same way the staff. We're worried. We're not leaving you. We're there for you. We're organized. Everything's not going to go right. If you think everything's going to go right, look at my last 2 years in this job sometimes, okay? So you have to understand that. You have to be tough about it, and you have to just kind of go, and you're going to make mistakes, but she's done such a great job planning, and really all the administrators have, and staff. I don't think we're really going to run into a ton of trouble. It's just going to be a transition. So I just ask you kind of give us that and trust that, you know, you hired us for positions, and there's good people, and good people up here. I've talked to many times about personnel, finance. Jim Flores, this. Hey, you guys come to box up some books. Listen, you wouldn't believe the amount of work people do just to get a school from A to B, and we're not there yet, but it will be done, and we appreciate it. So, and she did all this extra flyer stuff. I'm not that guy either, so we just kind of talk and she put it all together. So,
We put the dates together. Amy Webster created it and made it pretty.
so we do feel very confident in where we're going, and you know, becoming a school that will be able to represent Clarksburg very well. And it's our goal to be the best school that we can possibly be, and kind of take the school to another level, hopefully with a little bit of what we do and with a little bit of what they do, we'll be very successful. I feel pretty good about it. Is that questions for us? Would you like to ask questions this thing?
Yeah, I got a couple. What, have you guys projected what your total enrollment's going to be?
Looking at the numbers currently, it'll be a little less than 1,000, not between 900 and 1,000. It's hard to not, there's so many rumors
Well, yeah,
out there, you know, this kid says, well, I'm gonna go here, not, you know, until, you know, we've heard it for years, till we see the whites of their eyes in the seat, you know, but there's lots of rumors, but with our current enrollment, should be between 900.
900,000. Okay, I have a grandson that's going to be a freshman.
Yes.
And he's a nervous Nelly, and he keeps saying, he's wondering when he's going to get the schedule for his classes for next year.
The WI and Mountaineer Middle are both attending Move Up Day on April 29th. Yep, they will be at RCB on April 29th. We're going to give them tours. We will give them all of their scheduling papers. It's all ready for the Move Up Day.
And I think they're currently working on registration. We just basically finished our registration up for our students, and then we'll kind of put them together and we'll have that. It's just, you know, I know we had staff that said too, you guys, you've been in this role as a principal, you don't usually have it right this second. I mean, very few people, someone over there always had it this time, but that's the only person I ever met that had it. So, I mean, that's just the reality. You're working on it, but I mean, it's there. It's just kind of plugging the kids in and making sure we're getting an ideal fit.
And plus, then you probably have new student and freshman orientation too, closer to school.
Briefly talk about Jimmy Costas coming in and working with the teams. I mean, do you have anything really
Yeah.
for that? And he's going to be with the school even in the next year.
Correct.
Working with just the school in the transition.
We've spent a day and a half with him, just the administrators, so just the five of us, and he's challenged us and given us good things to think about. One of the things on the very first day that we talked about were like, what were our fears? And the consensus is we're gonna miss something. We're going to forget something. So, he has reassured us that, nothing is perfect, but he keeps saying, well, how are you gonna handle this? How are you gonna do this? What do you, and kind of, I feel to our surprise and kind of made us feel better that most of his questions were like, oh, we did that. So it's been good and is giving us some, more time to spend creating that cohesive unit as administrators. And, all the five of us have known each other a long time, and I think it's gonna be a great experience with five of us working together.
I wanted to just say, I had a conversation with him and he said, you cannot think that you're gonna go into that building and there's not gonna be a bump or a rock in the road.
Right.
He said, if you've got processes in place and you know how you're gonna handle it when you get to that rock, that's the important part. And I think that's what he's working with the team on. So I appreciate all that you guys are doing. It's a lot of extra work on top of running your schools right now. You've still got school going on.
Well, another question for you. I guess the way I'm also.
While you're thinking that, Mr. Note, could you explain the gentleman who worked with you so maybe anybody that's unaware?
Yeah, he's a consultant that has come in, who has experience in administration. He has a company that kind of guides leadership and makes sure that we're kind of not missing those big things. And also tries to build the leadership skills within the administration and create a cohesive team for us. Support that.
And I see where they worked with the middle school.
Yeah.
Yes,
too,
yes,
so
absolutely.
They
saw
have
that
much
also.
more experience
Yeah.
with him, yeah.
One thing, to me is a major concern is in special education, okay, do you know a number that you will have in regard to special education?
Yeah, we've actually received our numbers. Actually, Ms. Knight's got us all our numbers for the middle school, and we have ours there. The special education part has to go into your master schedule first. If you don't build off of that, it's very difficult to make sure you're hitting your correct numbers. It's always the hardest because you want to make sure that you're giving the best opportunity for the children that we have there. So, and truthfully, that's always why it's first in. It's really the hardest to kind of get done. So we do have our numbers. We know what things need to be taken care of, and actually that's the last part we really have to kind of put in. So, it's a manageable number, but it's going to be work. It's when you have a section of school that really requires some extra attention, you got to do it right. So I feel very confident, and I know some of our teachers there too. I got a very good group of people, even though some of them are in long-term subs. They did an excellent job this year. And I think having that experience of organizing that, and not all the time is the principal kind of set behind and go, okay, this is, and I'll just say it, I probably shouldn't say it that way. Hey, here it is. Here's our calendar. Here's what we're doing, and we're checking the box. I learned that. If you can keep on that, you can ensure that you're hitting the target dates. You're hitting, and you're not just signing a piece of paper. You're part of the actual process. So you got to take kind of ownership as the administrator in that. You can't just pass it off. It needs to be in front of you. And I know that we've talked many times on that. It's something that cannot be. You can't make a mistake with that. This kids really, really need you, and it's your job to put them in the right environment.
And maybe my last question, in regard to, I know that Mrs. Sutler is overstaffed all the schools. Not many schools have 5 administrators, are you going to, in other words, one person, say Mr. Hare, would be for next year, say be in charge of all the seniors, and then one of your other administrators be in charge of all your juniors? And
We've been working with Jimmy Casas on that and how to divide responsibilities. And what we're going to do is make sure that we're going to divide topics rather than classes. For example, one administrator might be in charge of all AP. One might be doing the dual credit, one is going to do the state testing, so we're going to divide the topics rather than the grade levels and make sure that everyone's cross-trained. Because we know that anything can happen and someone could, break an ankle and be out for a while. So we're making sure that everyone's cross-trained and looking at the topics.
It helps when you do have the extra administration, kind of what you're saying, I have a background in career technical education, so it would make it perfect sense that maybe, hey, this guy's gonna be, look over some of our CTE. I actually, and I have I'm not really sure how I figured this out. I have a pretty good knowledge of special education too, so there's some things that are big ticket items but at the same time, we work with it's our job as a principal to train our assistant principals to kind of take our jobs. That's life. So they've been learning key pieces along the way too that I feel very confident in. I've known Eric and Kelly for a long time, that I think having the extra piece there will really help kind of take it to another level. And that's what you want. You want one school that can kind of rise, and that's what we're going to do. But you need those extra hands in the beginning. I mean, especially as we kind of get things going, because you are going to have discipline things you have to deal with. You're going to have to rely on one another probably more than what you're used to. It's easy for me to run a school of 450 kids with 2 people. It really is. I mean, it's because you can kind of hit everything. But now you got 900,000 kids that we don't know. That extra body is going to be huge. Kind of ensuring that we have eyes on kids, safety first, like everything else. I mean, number one, and then are we doing this right? It's important to have people that understand the big categories and the high school level. It's a little bit different. I'm sure in middle school, it's a little bit different. And there's key categories that get you a lot of trouble if you don't know what you're doing with them. So, yeah.
Two of the other key categories are, sorry,
assistant
Doug.
principal, all the discipline. And it was pretty overwhelming and all, and it got changed late in my career over there. Where we ended up dividing up between 2 of us, and still was pretty overwhelming. There was, discipline issues on a daily basis, and so we did a little different when in Washington Irving. If Tony got in trouble, I saw him the first time, handed out discipline. Second time, he saw Mr. Tucker, and he handed out the. And then on the third time, they saw us together and with the parent conference, and it usually works. It worked out pretty well, but I mean, if one administrator's tough on a child in a situation, and then the next time another administrator sees them, and they give them a little slap on the wrist, well, then, it's a tough situation if there's no consistency.
I was just gonna mention those 2 hot topics are discipline and attendance. That's in itself, with 900 to 1,000 students, is probably one individual's sole job at that point. Good luck with all of that and managing all of that. I don't know how you plan on addressing all of that, but good luck
I
with that.
start with this face and never changes to a smile. That's just when number one.
Well, I like that face, so yeah.
It's usually kind of this all the time. I
Okay.
smile sometimes. Kind of
That
worked for a
works.
couple of years. We're gonna keep trying that and see if it works.
What would you say the biggest challenge is right now that you're facing?
The biggest challenge right now is kind of, and I think this personally for us, is how you finish a year strong and don't cheat the people you have in your building right now. So how do you do that and still be able to move into the next phase? I mean, that's huge, because, they are part of me, and she has to say, she's trying to not cheat them, and we're trying to get to another, you don't have a lot of time, so.
Is the biggest challenge right now.
Well, I know for the incoming kids, and being a grandfather of an incoming freshman, like I said, I know he's petrified, he's not, and he's a small kid right now, he hadn't hit his growth spurt, but he does very well academically, and, you know, not because he's mine, but he's a great, you know, he's very well behaved and, very polite, but he's scared to death, and he asks questions to me all the time, and,
We're gonna take care of them on the 29th.
that's what
All planned.
That's
You do a
what
great
I'll
job at Bird taking care of this freshman coming in. They have a.
You were at the first days.
Yes.
Saw.
Yeah,
I'll-
freshman taking care of.
Very good, thank you. Anybody have any further questions? Thank you. If there's anything that we can do to assist that hasn't been done, then, you know, we're more than welcome to listen and help out.
Mrs. Farrell's going to hand out just a few things for you all to look over as I talk about our transition to a brand-new school. Sometimes it's with Robert Z. Byrd, you know, have a little bit of advantage. We're creating a whole new school in a whole new building that we don't have access to right now. So there is a little bit more angst. I think I get a little more stressed every day because we're getting closer to that finish line. But at the same time, you know, we have a lot of questions answered, and we're prepared to put those things out there when the time's right for our teachers and our students. As it's going around, I just want to say at the beginning of January, we met with Jimmy Casas in one day, and we had a nice session with our teachers regarding, you know, just icebreakers where they got together and learned things about Susan and I and Brandon and Renee that they may not know. We tried to find some things that were way out in left field that nobody knew, like Brandon was on a cruise ship, or he was a cruise ship performer, singer on a cruise ship. So, you know, that wasn't me, obviously. They've heard me sing, I'm sure, but some things that they may not know, and try to bring those staffs together to work together to kind of solve those problems. We gave some things out, but, you know, the second day we were there was it was kind of a stressful day, I think, for our teachers. They were there to bid on a job, and that's a stressful time. And so what we did is when they came out of that meeting where they picked a job, we gave them a T-shirt and took a picture with them in front of the sign that said Liberty Middle Stronger Together. So that was kind of that start of building the culture that we want to put out there for not only our teachers, but that our kids see that we're all on the same page and we're going to do things together and not act like two separate units, because, you know, August, whatever, of next year, we're going to be there and we have to be together. So that was important. Oh, yeah, and then I hand wrote a letter to every staff member, service personnel, everybody, just welcoming them aboard and telling them how much, you know, they were going to mean to the new school and things going well. So thanks, Susan, for reminding me. Just some things I want to highlight on that sheet. We've created an organizational chart, and if you look back on the second page, you'll see that we've already established some duties for our administrators, and really it goes by our strengths. I mean, Susan is elementary background. She's going to take over sixth grade, which is a lot more like sixth grade. Renee has taught seventh grade for me forever that I can remember. She's going to do seventh grade. Brandon, who comes from the high school, he's going to do the eighth grade. Makes sense to do that. He's also a music major. You know, he taught music in Upshur County, but when he was at the high school, he worked with CTE. So those are going to be things that he deals with. Renee obviously was a math teacher, so she's going to work with the math teachers. Susan's going to work with English and reading and some foreign language, and I'm going to do science and social studies because social studies is my major. So I'm looking forward to that because I get to go back in those classrooms and really, you know, help out those teachers as well. And you can see we've got some other things on that form that we've really thought about over the last few months and tried to put things together that matched, you know. So for example, organization and routines team, just talking about protocols and how things move in the building. Also takes into the safety committee about how things move and different procedures and building maintenance. So kind of throwing all those things in together for one person instead of that being scattered around a whole bunch of people. So as far as administrators go, I love having, I think 3 is the 4 of us all together is the key, because we can really focus in on certain things. And I think it's gonna make us all better, and it's gonna make us all, I think stronger together. But, I think it's gonna make us refreshed, and we're not gonna have that level of stress trying to run everything every day. Let's see, back to another page. We did take a tour of Liberty High School on March the 28th. We have room assignments for most. We're still waiting on some things with special ed. They're doing some room dividing and some different things. So we're kind of waiting to get that special ed schedule completely finished, which will be done, cross my fingers, on Thursday. I want the schedule to be done, not necessarily kids in classes, but at least we know how many sections of everything we need. And then we can go from there as to where they're going to go and where everybody's going to be. And that'll relieve some stress off for special ed teachers, because they're still trying to figure out where they're going and what they're going to be doing. After we listened to the teachers as well, because at that meeting, somebody said, hey, there's some things that I'd like in my room that I don't have right now, that I don't see in there. Can I put a list together? So, I went back after that and did a Microsoft form and sent it to everybody and said, hey, if there's anything you want, put it on this list. I've gotten 35 responses, and they're just giving me, some of it's like, I'd like a bathroom in my room. Well, that's not happening. But again, some of those things, that you can put on there. I'd like a Promethean board. I'd like things to put up along the wall so our kids can do math on the, vertical boards on the wall. And there's things that maybe we both have in our buildings, but teachers want it. They want to come in and maybe do some painting and put up some curtains and do some fun things. So yes, we want to make it inviting, and I want to give them the opportunity. But they gave me that list, and I haven't had a chance to go through all 43, but we'll go down through, and if we see a lot of the same things, then those are things we're going to say, hey, Mrs. Knight, Whitney, we need a little, Jimmy, whatever it is, we're going to need a little bit of something to get us through. And things that people may not realize, that may mean nothing to anybody, but a cart that I can roll around with all my stuff, that means a lot to somebody who has to move throughout the building. So something as simple as that can solve a world of problems. Last week, or a couple weeks ago, actually, we sent out course request sheets to all, Susan and I went to all the elementary schools, met with all the 6th graders coming in, gave them all the sheets. We did David Oliverio did a thing on, gave us a QR code that we could put on it so the parents could go online and look at how to fill out the form. We did that with our 7th and 8th graders. Those are all going to come back in on Thursday. So we'll, everything's coming in before spring break. It's going to take us a while to get all that together and process that, but we're really working on it. A couple things, we've had some strategic plan sessions with Lola Brown, and they've been fantastic. And Jessica Haynes, and Jessica's been there, sorry. 3rd page there, you'll see our mission and vision, and I was so super excited, and Susan was there, and we talked about it afterwards, and I was like, usually you gotta pull teeth to get people to do things. And we had 20 people there, I think, and they were in there working on this, and this is theirs. This isn't what we came up with. This was what they came up with, and we guided the process, but we didn't tell them to add words or take words out. This was theirs. And I'm super excited about that for our kids and for the staff, that they have really come together and
We've
done
had
something.
people with the equal input from each staff, 8 to 10 people each meeting that we have from the buildings. And like he said, they're super excited. They're coming up with phrases and catchphrases and signs to be made. And I mean, it's just a really exciting time right now.
Yeah.
It's really going very well and very positively.
And then, different thing, her counselor sent me a